Mesdames, Messieurs, l'action se poursuit immédiatement, s'amenant maintenant vers l'arène. Xolisani, Ndongeni. Et maintenant, accueillons chaleureusement Jhon Orobio.
Si lo que he logrado a nadie se lo dejo. Yo me sacrifiqué para que todo esto tuviera sentido. Yo nunca me dejaba, siempre he bateado la piedra en mi camino. La vida me hizo fuerte y sin dar detalles ahora te lo digo. Y ahora resulta que salieron los caminos, entonces me miré. Cerraron la cima pero la escalé. Yo tengo mi agua, yo tengo mi H. No me hables del pasado, háblame del presente como yo luché. Yo me sacrifiqué. Mira que me y ahora resulta que salieron los caminos, entonces me miré. Cerraron la cima pero la escalé. Yo tengo mi agua, yo tengo mi H. No me hables del pasado,
Mesdames, Messieurs, Eye of the Tiger et Riyadh Season présente ce duel prévu pour 10 rounds pour le championnat WBC Continental des super légers. Ladies and gentlemen, Eye of the Tiger and Riyadh Season proudly present 10 rounds of boxing for the WBC Continental Super Lightweight Championship. Ce combat est sanctionné par la Régie des alcools, des courses et des jeux sous la supervision de M. Jean Gauthier. Superviseur WBC Supervisor, M. Michel Hamelin. Les juges pour ce combat, your judges for this championship fight, M. Richard Le Carifel, Mme Marie-Josée Guérin et M. Nathan Palmer. L'arbitre, your referee, M. Steve Saint-Germain. Tout d'abord, dans le coin bleu, l'aspirant. En 40 combats professionnels, il compte 33 victoires, 19 obtenues par KO. Il nous vient de Duncan Village en Afrique du Sud et pèse 140 livres. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, the challenger. In 40 professional bouts, he has 33 wins, 19 coming by way of knockout. From Duncan Village, South Africa, he weighed in at the super lightweight limit, 140 pounds. Xolisani Ndongeni. Et son adversaire dans le coin rouge, fils professionnel absolument parfaite. 15 victoires, aucune défaite, 13 victoires acquises par KO. De Montréal et pesant 139,2 livres. Introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, professional record absolutely perfect. 15 wins, no defeats, 13 wins coming by way of knockout. From Montreal, Quebec, weighing in at 139.2 pounds, il est le champion WBC continental des super légers. He is the reigning and defending WBC Continental Super Lightweight Champion, Jhon El Tigre Orobio!
Boxer, I'm gonna consider mid-belt both of you for good. You both receive my instruction in the locker room. Protect yourself at all time, listen to my command at all time. Touch gloves. Good luck, both of you.
And we take a look at the tail of the tape for this one. Jhon Orobio, the hot prospect, one of the best in boxing, taking on the 40-fight veteran, Xolisani and Ndongeni. You see the measurables in favor of Jhon Orobio, who is taller and longer than Ndongeni. But can the experience of Ndongeni be a trap for Jhon Orobio here tonight? Again, we're on the heels, Morgan, of 2 consecutive fights here tonight where the Tiger prospects had some difficulty, came out victorious, but we'll see if Orobio can be the one to exceed expectations here tonight, and certainly the hand speed immediately on display from Orobio.
Yeah, and quickly you see how much faster of a pace this fight is taking place at, these 2 high-level performers. And again, Ndongeni, for the first time since the Bravo fight, even the Bravo fight, he would argue he wasn't fully in shape for that fight. The Batchkov fight, he says he wasn't in shape for that fight. He was supposed to fight Jhon Orobio right after Labor Day here in Montreal. Wound up suffering an Achilles tendon injury in training. Stayed home in South Africa, got himself fully healthy. And he says, again, this is the first time in a long time he's had a full training camp. He's 100% in shape and 100% healthy. And he says, you're going to see the difference tonight.
It has been a recurring theme with Ndongeni. He said that the stoppage loss at the hands of Arnold Barbosa was because he was exhausted in the final rounds. You referenced the Ivanis Batchkov fight, his most recent outing in Turkey, but he says, which did play out on the broadcast, that he was not told that it was a 10-rounder. He thought the fight was over after 8 rounds and then went out and got stopped in the next round.
Yeah, he did his big finishing kick in the 8th round, went back to his corner and saw everyone else getting ready for round 9. And in his defense, even if you watch the broadcast, the little graphic in the screen would say round 1 of 8, round 2 of 8. Everybody seemed to think this was an 8-round fight except Ivanis Batchkov.
His right hand over the top there from Orobio. Hand speed advantage very apparent here in the early going. Orobio able to land the setup shot, step out, and get back in. And these right hands seem like they've already had a bit of an impact on Ndongeni, who takes a deep breath as we're inside the final minute of round 1.
We talked early in the broadcast, Corey, about the difference between thinking fast, fighting fast, and just moving fast. And here you see 2 guys that are fast, that they process really quickly, but just in terms of raw speed, Orobio has already sort of established this advantage, and now it's incumbent upon Ndongeni to find a way to neutralize not only Orobio's punching power and superior physical strength, but that speed.
Ndongeni keeping an active jab here. Good shot there from Orobio. Smile on the face of Ndongeni, as if to say, okay, I've felt stuff like this before. However, Jhon Orobio is someone who many consider to be different.
Yes. And so you might have felt something like this before, but whatever Jhon Orobio is going to serve you next, have you felt something like that? We will see.
Tu jab mix, tu recha mix, bueno. Cuando vamos.
Ndongeni starting with the jab, trying to land that pull counter over Jhon Orobio's jab. But what Ndongeni is finding is that Jhon Orobio moves a little bit quicker than the guys he is used to fighting. And so a pull counter right hand that might land against someone else, even another high-level performer, doesn't quite always find the mark against Jhon Orobio.
After a brief delay, round 2 begins. Excellent start for Jhon Orobio in a colossal step up.
Yes. Just to finish the point I was making, Corey, this is one of the things that Ndongeni's going to have to deal with in this fight, and the future opponents of Jhon Orobio, if his career keeps progressing, are going to have to deal with. Is the fact that he is an offensive-minded fighter, and he's a free swinger, but that doesn't mean he's also not an elusive target.
Ndongeni just trying to stabilize Orobio with that lead hand. But you can see already just in body language of Ndongeni, which just worsened after that right hand. And he goes down for the first time. Everyone goes down. The count is being administered.
Yes, that is a knockdown.
What I was just going to say, Morgan, that there's a bit of a frantic nature in the movement of Ndongeni, as if he's being made to move about 3 times as fast as he wants to move right now, and now he's tasted the power of Jhon Orobio. Big right hand, you can hear that one from Orobio, and a big left hook. Lots of time for Orobio to work with here in the second. Short left hook on the inside. Ndongeni all over the place here in the second.
And you can see Ndongeni trying what usually works against the Nestor Bravo, and even for stretches of time against the Hovhannes Batskov, which is to throw that 1-2, stop that guy in his tracks, stop his momentum. And it's just not working against Orobio, because Orobio is able to elude many of those shots or take them, and then come back with something that, like that right hand.
Good chopping right hand, and about 20 seconds ago, you can see Orobio not neglecting the body either. Big left hook sets up a shot like that up top.
That was a dangerous left hook. Ndongeni is very, very, very fortunate not to have landed in the 3rd row right there if that punch had connected flush.
There's some chance of Orobio here as he lands a right hand that has Ndongeni looking staggered again. Oh, that is a flush right hand. Ndongeni is all over the place, and down he goes. And that is it. In case you had any doubts, Jhon Orobio is for real.
Corey, we have not seen anyone hit Xolisani and Ndongeni like that. Even Hovhannes Batskov, who is a highly rated contender, a world-class amateur, a guy on the fast track to contendership because he's already in his 30s, didn't do Xolisani and Ndongeni like that. Didn't land as clean. If he landed cleanly, he didn't land with as much power. And again, Xolisani and Ndongeni's somebody who's been in there with some of everybody at the top level, and he just looked overwhelmed, shell-shocked by the combination of speed, power, and elusiveness and accuracy that Jhon Orobio just served up.
And again, this is a healthy and fully prepared version of Xolisani and Ndongeni, and it didn't make any difference as we take a look back at how this one ended.
Even that sequence starts with a left hook that landed on the collarbone, and that sent Ndongeni reeling across the ring. That right hand, Corey, was the functional end of this fight. Watch Ndongeni's left hand as that right hand lands. Out on his feet. And he seems relieved not to have taken more punishment. And again, this is the guy that's been in the ring with world champ, been in the ring with Devin Haney, been in the ring with Raymond Moratalla. He understands what the different levels are. Somebody that's a prospect, somebody that's a contender, somebody that's a future champ. And I think if we talk to him afterwards, he will tell us that Jhon Orobio is future champ material.
And the smile on the face of Ndongeni, at least to me, is saying, what did I just experience right there? He's looking across the ring right now, and we'll see if we get any cues from this interaction, but this is a man in Ndongeni who's been very honest throughout his career about how good his opponents were. And
yes.
you're right, I think it'd be very telling to hear what Ndongeni has to say. It's certainly looking very appreciative and complimentary of Jhon Orobio, and how could you not be after that performance?
Mesdames, Messieurs, chronomètre officiel, 2 minutes 47 secondes du deuxième round. L'arbitre Steve Saint-Germain arrête le combat, déclarant le gagnant par TKO. Ladies and gentlemen, official time, 2 minutes 47 seconds of round number 2. Referee Steve Saint-Germain stops the fight, declaring the winner by TKO and still WBC Continental Super Lightweight Champion, Jhon Orobio.
So Jhon Orobio with a statement victory over Xolisani and Ndongeni. And this may have been, Morgan, the graduation from prospect to contender. And it looks like we're going to hear from Jhon Orobio right now.
Nous sommes avec le gagnant, Jhon Orobio. Jhon, tu avais un gros test devant toi ce soir. Un gars qui avait affronté beaucoup de gros noms dans la division. Mais tu réussis à le finir en 2 rounds. Tu dois être très content de ta performance.
Bonjour à tout le monde. Merci beaucoup à tous les gens qui me supportent. C'est mon combat, c'est pour tout le monde qui vient à regarder mon combat. Merci pour tous les soutiens. Merci à mon équipe de travail, à Camille et Stéphane, à Antoine, à mon famille. Salut à la Colombie, à toutes les personnes de la Colombie, à ma femme, à ma fille. Merci à tous. Désolé. Et je suis content comme mon victoire parce qu'avec mon adversaire avait beaucoup d'expérience et j'ai dit je nécessaire knockout pour démontrer à tout le monde que je suis le meilleur de Colombie, de tout le monde.
So Orobio knew he was in tough tonight against a very tough opponent, wanted to score the knockout, wanted to prove to the world that he was for real. Mission accomplished. On a un petit débat ici sur quelle langue ça va se poursuivre apparemment cet entretien-là. Jhon, après une grosse victoire comme ça, est-ce qu'il y a quelqu'un que tu as en tête pour ton prochain combat ou peut-être un type d'adversaire que tu aimerais affronter maintenant?
Je ne sais pas. Je vais parler de mon équipe. Je vais faire 3 combats n'importe quel camp. Je viens à la guerre n'importe quel camp.
No matter against who, Orobio is ready for war. Félicitations, mon ami, une excellente performance encore une fois. He proved to the world he was for real tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the WBC Continental Super Lightweight Champion, Jhon El Tigre Orobio.
So Jhon Orobio now 16-0. And we called him one of the brightest prospects in boxing coming into this fight. Now the question is, do you start matching him like a contender as we take a look back at his destruction of Xolisani and Ndongeni?
Yeah. Well, first of all, Corey, his French is developing at a faster pace than his boxing skills are, which is saying a lot. Because last year, as a word or two, he DM'd me in French one time on Instagram, but this was a full post-fight interview. I don't know if I'm gonna say, but here he goes. That first right hand was sort of the tone setter for the night. And when Ndongeni ate that first right hand, he understood exactly what he was dealing with. And again, this sequence starts with a left hand to the collarbone. Yeah, so now to your point, Corey, who between Ndongeni and the tippy top of the division, who do you find for Orobio? And Orobio, again, he's in sort of an enviable position in the sense that nobody besides the tippy top of the division can even make him sweat, Corey.